Hey guys, good morning. How are you all doing? I am not too bad, but I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an update. Something for you to laugh at first is I've got a red streak. I don't even know how or why I agreed to that. I can't even use the excuse that I was drunk because I was completely sober. But hey ho, it's all good. We're going with it. The other really good news is I am so thrilled to say that I have managed to raise over £1,000 for Macmillan Cancer Charity, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. I'm just completely blown away by the amount of support that I've had from so many people, and it's made this whole month totally worth it. I'm looking forward to a drink on Sunday, but yes, as I said, no regrets whatsoever. I thought I'd sort of share with you a few little things from this week because it hasn't actually been my easiest week. Oh, just got an email. Due to sort of like mental flashbacks, as it were, is the only way I'm going to be able to describe this. I am absolutely loving Harper, and I just feel like it's the best thing I've ever done. But sort of over the last week or so, Molly, my little dachshund, has been quite unwell. Sort of in and out of the vets, overnight stays, that type of thing. So I decided to pop home just to see her and things. And I actually was quite surprised how stressful I found going home. I think for two reasons. The first one was that although mum and stuff was there, it didn't feel right because none of my sort of stuff was there. Do you mean my room was very bare? There wasn't there wasn't my stuff laid out as I normally was. Things that I would normally use at home had been put away. Mum had sort of cleaned up some stuff that I would normally I had to ask where stuff was, and I found that really, really unnerving. Do you mean I'm somebody that likes familiarity, and so that definitely played on my mind. And the second thing that really worried me actually was how stressed I got about sort of feeling like I was falling behind and that I was missing out, not just on the social side of it, but also on the work. I didn't feel like I could concentrate and work as I normally would here. And and I found it really disorientating. So that was quite a surprise, but I got to ride Eddie, and I sort of tried to prioritise things a little bit and just put it into perspective. I did have a little wobble at mum, which I'll totally admit, but I do think that by the end of the day I've got myself back together through making lists and just trying to put everything into perspective. So yeah, that was a bit of a wobble. And then not last night, the night before, I had a phone call from mum at 11 o'clock. I was back here saying that Molly had been rushed in for surgery, and it was like all of a sudden I was back there on that first night with Dad waiting, and it was horrid. And I've sort of, for the last 48 hours, I've really mentally struggled. Like, I've been thinking about Dad a lot of the time, and although now I look back at him and I joke about what we had and I look at the happy memories, I just found that being in that same situation of not knowing and waiting for news whilst they're in surgery, it just made me feel sick to the core. And it was like living the flashback all over again, and all the pain and the worry and the anger just completely just bubbled to the surface, and I didn't even realise I still felt like that, which was quite it was quite weird. And so I must admit the last few days have not been the easiest, but grief is something that will never go away, and I've learned that. It's just something that we live with, and I think the last few days have been a real highlight of how it will always be there, and there are always going to be times in my life where it will present itself almost like I'm still there in the moment. And actually it's just learning to accept that and be thankful that I have so many friends and family around me. Like here, I just made sure that I surrounded myself with people. I didn't just sit in my room. I made sure that I did things that I wanted to do. I went to the gym. I did things that made me happy, or just a little bit happier. I mean, I was nice to myself. Instead of beating myself up for these feelings, I accepted them and looked at ways that I could try and alleviate them. And I think that's something that is really hard, but is the best way to cope with anything that you're struggling with. So Mum has just been in to see Molly this morning, and although she is still not very well, fingers crossed she will recover. She has managed to eat for the first time in a few days, so that is a positive. I will keep you all updated, and I'm sure that I equally will be feeling tip top again. The whole uni experience, there's just always something going on, there's always people to talk to, and I think that's something that, especially during COVID, like even now with still isolation, I know it's not, you might not be able to necessarily go and see someone in person, but if you're feeling low about anything, FaceTime somebody, talk to people. It doesn't have to be about that. Just go and have a conversation with someone, because it lifts your spirits so much. We are herd animals, and we need human interactions and discussions, and it will. Find someone that you know will make you laugh and cheer you up. Give them a call, and if you feel like telling them why you want to speak to them, then do it. But equally, if not, make up some excuse. Just wanted to check how you are. Do you mean, you might find that they're feeling the same way and they're just too scared to say so. So reach out to people, keep our little chins up, and make the most of every day. And I will catch you soon.